What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Universal Crystals. Today we're going to be talking about how to create your dream life using the law of attraction. And everybody wants to do this. It's become a trend ever since, the book and the movie The Secret came out. It really ramped up. Ever since then, you've seen stuff about the law of attraction everywhere probably. Even when I went to my first college that I ended up leaving, we had a class with what's it called? Basically the president or dean of the school. He had a class and he's like super rich, and he showed us clips from The Secret, and this was before I ever learned about the law of attraction, and I was really intrigued, and I kind of understood it because right before going to that class the day before, I was thinking that I didn't want something to happen so bad that it ended up happening. And I was like, maybe there is some truth to this, thinking thoughts and whatnot. But the law of attraction really goes deeper than that. It goes into the law of vibration. And how do you get into the vibration of the best version of yourself? How do you get into the vibration of the person that is living your dream life? That is how you're going to attract it. So if you are doing things currently that you don't like, think about the ideal version of you, whatever that is to you right now. That may change, but think about the ideal identity that you would have. And what would that person be doing? Would they be, continuing to have some of the habits that you currently have? The answer for a lot of us is probably no. So if we want to be the best version of ourselves, we might as well start off by being the best version of ourselves. It's not going to just magically happen without you putting yourself in the vibration of that person. And so how you want to change your identity is you want to do something that the old version of you would have never done. And for me, that was making YouTube videos. The old version of me would have been way too terrified to get on camera and talk about these topics and all this stuff. So I decided to break out of my old boxed in identity that kept me stuck in this repeating reality, where I was just doing the same things every day, and I knew I wanted to get out of it. But there was no way out unless I chose to be the version that I wanted to be. And this is an everyday process for me. I'm learning as I go. It's been hard to find time to make videos recently after starting back to school again. And, I've been kind of caught in negative thinking and seeing how I used to be before I tried to break out of that identity. Now I'm doing it again. So if you want to have results that are different than what you're currently getting, you're going to have to do different things. And people call this radical action. If you want radical results, you need to take radical action. Radical action is something way out of your comfort zone, way out of your identity. But when you do it and you start doing it consistently, it becomes part of your identity. And your identity and your subconscious beliefs about yourself are what are running your life. And you aren't aware of it. Most likely, a lot of these subconscious things you can become aware of in dreams. And I've made some videos about dreams and stuff. But ultimately, if you want the law of attraction to work for you, you can't just sit there and think about things. Yes, don't get me wrong. There is great power in feeling how it would feel to have these things, especially as you go to sleep. I will be making a video about that soon. There is great power in manifesting through scripting and affirmations and visualization during meditation. But after you visualize during that meditation and feel how it would feel, maybe even get visions of yourself doing that, now it's time to go execute it. Now it's time to meet the universe, or the other part of you, which you are the universe, halfway, and do the thing that you already saw yourself doing. Now implement some of the habits of that person. This will start to build confidence. Doing new things, you'll start to build confidence that, hey, I really can do this. Just start and stop making excuses. You can make so many excuses for why you can't do something, and I've done that so many times, making excuses for why I can't make this video. Oh, it's too dark. I've got too much to do tonight. I've found so many excuses ever since starting this channel for why I can't make videos consistently, but I've decided that in order for myself to actually, like, I've seen the best version of myself so many times, and I'm not doing the things that the best version of myself is doing. And so this is a message to myself and to all of you to start doing the things that the best version of you is doing, and you will merge with that version. And again, your ego is going to want to attach this, label it. It's part of your identity, but you might as well have an identity that you enjoy. You don't have to be clinging to identities and desires and all this. It can be very liberating, but in this world that we live in, we have to make money to do certain things, and the way I want to make money is through doing what I love. How am I going to make money doing what I love if I'm not willing to put in the work to do what I love and make the sacrifices necessary to be able to do that? And eventually it will pay off. The sacrifices that you all are making in your life to get to that new reality are going to pay off, even if you cannot see it right now. So this is just kind of a message to not forget about the law of attraction. You see, action is part of the law of attraction. And you don't want to take action in a rushed way. I'm not saying that. You don't want to take action just like how I used to, where I was just doing things out of fear or, belief that it wouldn't really happen. But you want to take that belief that it will come into your life, and you want to heighten that belief because you're doing everything possible for that to happen. You're not just, leaving it up to chance. Yes, there are things that play into it that are out of your control, but everything that you can control, you are putting in the best possible effort to make that reality your reality. And when you get a taste of it, when it really happens, you'll want to continue basically letting go of the habits that don't serve you, creating new habits that propel you to the version of yourself that you want to be. And continue to tell yourself that you are that version of yourself that you want to be, even if it doesn't really look like it. Because eventually, you tell yourself something enough, you will begin to believe it. And as you believe it, you start to act on it. And because you're acting on it, you believe it more. And as you're acting on things, being in the vibration of the best version of yourself now, you're going to then attract things without even having to put in effort. That's how you have effortless manifestation. You will then start to attract things that are at your vibration. But as you're raising your vibration, it definitely can be difficult because you're letting go of all the things that you attached your old identity to. It's attached to an illusion. It's attached to a joke. It's attached to things that give you temporary fulfillment that are taking away from your long-term fulfillment. And temporary pleasure and things like that we've got so much temporary pleasure in the internet now, and drugs and all this stuff, just getting temporary hits of pleasure in place of the dopamine hits that we could get from doing something that is truly going to make an impact in our life in the long term. I'm playing the long game here, setting myself up for a future that I hopefully will enjoy, and I know my mind's going to change. It already has many times. I will grow as I go, but because I'm just starting and just doing it, I will be becoming as close to the best version of myself in my head that my ego has in mind as I possibly can in this reality, because I'm going to be doing the things that will make that happen. And I encourage you to start doing those things as well. So this is how you create your dream life using the law of attraction. I will make videos on other manifestation techniques, visualizations, and things like that. But I also wanted to remind everybody to be the best version of themselves to the best of their ability and take on those habits of how that person would be thinking, how they would be acting, how they'd be feeling, the things they'd be saying to people, the things that they'd be putting out there. You know, would you have more confidence if you had these things? You think you'd have more confidence, but if you have more confidence, then maybe you can get those things. And I know it's difficult to break out of the box that you might be in, especially when life is throwing a lot of stuff at you. But it will get better. You will be able to do it. There are times when you don't want to do it. Like, I didn't really want to come make this video. It's very dark, as you can see. But this was the only opportunity that I had. And so I'm making the most of these opportunities that I have now instead of being lazy. And, sometimes it's not being lazy. Sometimes it's just not the right time, or it's not really what you love to do. But if you're making excuses for reasons that you can't do something because you're afraid of what other people will think, or because you're lying to yourself. Your ego does that all the time because it wants to keep you in that box. So break out of that box and be the best version of yourself. Sounds simple, may sound complicated, but you know what the best version of yourself would be doing, and you're only not doing that because you think that you don't have these certain circumstances to allow you to do that. But you can control certain things that will get you there, so you might as well act on the things that you can control now. So I love you all. Peace out. Universal crystals, baby. Love you.